This for reviewing her work. Now I would like to call upon Surya Govindaraj and Sriram Subramanian to present their work.
Okay. Good evening to all. Is it audible?
Yeah, it is on the page.
Okay, thank you. So good evening to all. This is Sriram and Surya from Logic Research Labs, present medical data analytics in healthcare domain. We successfully implemented the analytics in our pharmacy software and also good output. We implemented the FIC growth algorithm in our product in the market based analysis. Surya will tell the pros and cons of the both algorithms, and Surya will continue. Thank you.
So good evening, Nanda. Thank you everyone for this opportunity. And our project is the medical data analytics using frequent pattern growth algorithm. The reason why we use the frequent pattern growth algorithm is here is consider in pharmacy there are different items from A to Z. They maintain those items in followed in alphabetical order like A to Z. From A on B and C likewise they maintain in alphabetical order. Consider in a peak hours if a customers enter into the pharmacy, he can buy some medicine and the in prescription it includes a lot of medicine like one to five items in a bills. The first item in starting with A, and the next item starting with Z, and the next item starting with B. Likewise he has to roam here and there from A, Z, and then yes. Consider in peak times if you roam from A, Z is likewise. The time will be it takes more time to get the medicines from the racks. For the sake, we implement that a frequent pattern growth algorithm here to analyze our data using the prescription. Can I show you the presentation?
Yes, yeah, yes. You can present.
Okay, thank you. Our project, the medical data analytics using frequent pattern growth algorithm. This data is lively implemented in one pharmacy and it is going correctly. And we retrieved output results.
Your screen is not visible.
Oh, so, okay, sir. Is it visible to you?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
The medical data analytic using frequent pattern growth algorithm. We implement these algorithm in some pharmacy. It is running live, and we retrieve good results through this implementation. Let I started my introduction session. The medical data analytics, deals with collected from software tools like electronic medical records or diagnosis or some other treatments. The doctor may prescribe some other medicines to each and every patient. The patients could collect those medicine from the pharmacies. At the pharmacies. The medical data analytics allow for the examination patterns in various pharmacies in order to be determine how clinical care to be improved by limiting expensive spending. Let me tell you the problem definitions that in the pharmacy will be. In pharmacy, the medicines will be usually arranged in a rack system like alphabetical order. If a pharmacist has to roam here and there from the each and every racks on the pharmacy in search of various medicine. By implementing that market basket analysis, we have two algorithms. The one is an a priori algorithm and another one is an FP growth frequent pattern growth algorithm. We already implement these with a priori algorithm. We couldn't get a proper result in that algorithm. We switch on to that FP growth algorithm. This algorithm will help the druggist to arrange the racks in the frequently prescribed together by a doctor, or else he can arrange it in the order what they frequently prescribed or frequently billed by the persons. It usually saves the time for both the seller or pharmacists can display the medicine during their peak hours and can dispense the medicine to the number of customer as well. So that's a sake we implement these analytics into our pharmacy. What is the market based? Here I show you the algorithm details, why we implement the frequent pattern growth algorithm and why we not implementing the a priori algorithm here. Actually, we implement first with a priori algorithm. Actually, when we work, we try to implement this algorithm, we get the data, live data from some other pharmacy, and then pass those data into that a priori algorithm. We found that we first implement those algorithm with 100 records. It works fine, and then we gradually implemented with 500 records. Okay, it also worked fine for and then we gradually increase it to 1,000, 10,000, and then and so on. But in case what the a priori algorithm does not, we cannot get the proper result through the a priori algorithm, because it usually scans n number of times for the each iteration, because it is an iterative model and level wise search. But each number of times it iterates towards those iterations, it expands it. It is not efficient and memory capacity is limited for large data sets. And it is not efficient for large number of data set as well. And repeatedly it scans the database, so the time for those iterative model will be slow. And then we slightly move into that frequent pattern growth algorithm. The reason why we keep choosing a frequent pattern growth algorithm is mainly based on tree structures. And then it shows the association between the two item sets. What are the two item sets we here use is a frequent item sets and another is an association rule. The frequent item sets is nothing but the number of times those iteration can occur in that database. It shows. What are the association rules? It's nothing but the association rules. What the association rules will show you, right? The number of times these repetition, the relationship between the two association will be true. Here, the more specifically, find the set of products that are brought together. We can assume that if we are going to some shopping center, in front of the shopping center, they will show you some biscuits or something else. If one person buy a biscuit or butter, or if buy a biscuit, he would like to buy a milk, or else he would like to buy a something else. Likewise, if a person would like to buy something, otherwise she or may will probably buy this one. If a customer would like to buy a milk, then he would like to buy a bread, or otherwise he will like to buy a jam or something else. Likewise, this data set user, when compared with a priori and algorithm, a priori and FP growth algorithm, for 1,000 records in a priori algorithm, we use 1,000 data sets for implementation. It shows the result in maximum of 10 minutes, something else. But in FP growth algorithm, we use 10,000 records. It shows the result at the time of 1 minute. So we compare those with a priori with FP frequent pattern growth algorithm. We use the frequent pattern growth algorithm for our analytics. Then I'll show you the complete architectural design we used. What is the this is the complete architectural design. We first running the Python, we could get to the pharmacy database. This is a live database that is running in our pharmacy. We using by running those Python from Java. We have take each record in a bill as a, we record each record as a bill or basket. In that bill, there may be 2 items, 3 items, or else 5 items as well. That we consider at the time of we make going the decision making part also here, whether we make both time period based or bill wise record based. The time period based is nothing but whether we may go to past 1 month or 2 months or 6 months or 9 or 12 months. We go up to 12 months, not exceeded 24 months. Why not exceeded 12 months? Why we use only 12 months is nothing but for in between that 1 year data, the number of items may be changed, or it we received from some other manufacturer likewise. So we taken data up to last 12 months only. The bill wise record is nothing but lost 10,000 records or lost 10,000 records, lost 10,000 records. 1,000 bills record is nothing but last 10,000 bills. Likewise, we pass the data according to our requirement, and then we finally we get item code 1, item code 2, this type of data we retrieved from a bill, and then we implementing those FP growth algorithm here, and then return the frequent item sets, and then we get to the association rule. The frequent item sets is nothing but if consider if item code maybe now here we take item code as a integer value, then we cannot take it as a medicine name. For each medicine name, there will be one item code. Consider if Dolo is a medicine, it can be an item name as 1. Or if Calpol is a medicine, it can be an item name as 2. Likewise, we can get item name, get item code for here, get item code here. What is the frequent item sets is nothing but if A and B, it can be occur two times. If A and C, it can be occur 15 number of times. Likewise, the frequent pattern. If these two combinations are that frequently that comes into the relationship, that what say the frequent item sets. What is the association rule is nothing but if A and B is a medicine, it will come along with that C will come, or else if S and R will come along with that N will come. We have say if A, B and C are come, it will be at the confidence level. The confidence level may be up to 100, 70, 90. Let me explain the confidence level in the next slide. Why we use those confidence level and support count user. Here we make two configure values, three configure values here. One is removing outlier data for count items and the support count, and another one is a minimum support count we used here. This is a basket-based analysis. Here we consider each and every record in a database as a bill for our analysis. The removal of outlier data. The removal of outlier data for certain bills, such bills include those are considered as outliers for avoiding such complication by setting the outing. This is nothing but consider if you have one medicine or one or two medicine that can be occurred only one time in a bill, or else only at 10 time in a bill. During the duration of the period, it can be occur only 10 time or 20, 15 time or 14 time. We can consider those data as a outlier data. Consider if we take 10,000 records. If we take the Dolo is a medicine that can be occurred only the 10 times in a bill now, we remove those data because it cannot occur frequently. The sum of the times only these medicine will be occur. What is the time or period based analysis? I can say the decision making part is here, whether I may go by the time period based analysis or record based analysis. The time period based from 1 to 9 months. It cannot be exceeded up to after the 12 months. By using a support level of 70, 90, 70%, 80%, 90%. The support level is nothing but this is a confidence level. The minimum support count is these two relationships that can be occur more than 2. This is a count. These two relationships that can be occur in 2 times. This A and C is a relationship that can be occur in 10 times. Likewise, we have set this as a minimum support count. By this support level, that 70%, 80% is nothing but is a confidence level. And this is the number. We may go with record based analysis or else period based analysis, or we can if we want to go by record based analysis, we can take it from the last 10,000 records or 20,000 records. Likewise, we have used by we integrating those results into our pharmacy. This is the sample output we retrieved after implementing the FP growth algorithm with our pharmacy. See, this is a serial. This is an item code. This is a medicine. This item code is nothing but there is the item code for there is one item code. There is an item code for an item name. See, if 17535 17539 is an item code, 17892. This is an item code as a corresponding item name is here. These are the association rules we have received after by our implementing the frequent pattern growth algorithm. The visualization of result. We integrate those into those implementation in our pharmacy. This is the sample picture of their pharmacy. This is the one of the module we implemented the frequent pattern growth algorithm. Here we maintain the past records and past records and last record. The past 1 month or 3 month data will be feeded here, and last 1,000, 10,000 data will be feeded here. Here I giving a submit button, it shows how many number of data it analyzed and the total number of association rules. It shows the total number of association rules it retrieved. Here I analyzed 1,000 records and it shows the total association rules it provide as a 134 association rules. We can, if the person want to update the racks, he may update the racks according to their frequently prescribed by their doctors. Based on their order, they have updated the racks. Previously, they have maintained some racks for that medicine. If they want to minimize their time during their peak hours, they may update their racks along to their orders. So let me show you the sample output I retrieved through this. Hello.
Yeah, go on. Is your presentation done?
Yeah, ma'am. Let I show you the output I got during the analysis.
Okay, sure. Then judges will review your work.
This is the pattern I received when applying my frequent pattern growth algorithm. The pattern is nothing but this is an frequently prescribed that can be occur here. This is a one.
Not visible, your screen is not visible.
Okay.
Only presentation is visible.
Okay.
Are you showing anything else other than this presentation?
No.
No, you're telling that some patterns are shown here, but
yeah, let me show you. Wait. This is the pattern I received after implementing my frequent pattern growth algorithm. See, this is an item code for a particular item. The 15739, 18548, These are the item code that can be frequently occurred, and their item count will be a 13. Likewise, 17539 along with that can be occurred 433. The duplication in that item will be removed after implementing that algorithm. When in case of API, the algorithm, it comes within a redundant. Let me show you another. This is the pattern, and then we get rules for the association rules after getting from this pattern.
Oh, well, one thing I would like to understand here, this is fine. Now, as you are showing the FP growth algorithm,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
and also the output of that. Now, it is a well-established algorithm, and you have taken some data and implemented FP growth algorithm
Yes,
in
sir.
it, and it is getting certain kind of output vis-a-vis the a priori algorithm.
Yes.
Now, what is your novelty and contribution in it?
Sir, what is my contribution in it?
Yeah.
Actually, we first decided to implement those algorithms.
You see, those are off-the-shelf algorithm, right? So what I'm trying to understand that what is your contribution in it to make some improvement, let's say at the algorithm level or at the data customization level or data pre-processing level. One is that. Second is that, what is the amount of confidence with which you are showing that this kind of association will happen vis-a-vis the a priori algorithm, and whether that particular, confidence level difference do have any statistical significance or not in real time, because you see this particular algorithm FP growth do consume a lot of time, and as well as a priori. So as far as time is concerned, since you said that this will be during high peak hours, so at that point of time, what will be the time turnaround time taken by your a priori algorithm vis-a-vis this FP growth algorithm, and providing something very significant difference in creating the association rule or not? Have you made any that kind of analytical study?
Sir, actually, we first implement those things with API algorithm is correct. We first gradually implemented with 100 records. It's work fine. Okay. Then we first gradually increase it up to 500 records. Okay, work fine. And then we move on to 1,000 or 50,000 else, our system will be, the CPU time it taken will be very slow. And sometimes it may be hanged. Likewise, and the 50 records, 500 records is nothing but it includes the 500 bills. This bill that can include the more than for each bill may consider it may be a 2 items in a bill. Likewise, in 500 records, it may include the total number of 1,000 or 10,000 or likewise.
That we have that we have already understood. You have demonstrated all this. What I'm trying to understand, that to understand the analytical difference between a priori, and because here you will be presenting your work, no, what you have done, your contribution in that, and how you have optimized that. So what I find in your entire work is that you are having certain data which you have produced, in fact, provided as an input to a particular classifier. Let it be in Java or Python. If you are saying you are having many GUI-based systems these days, right? You are having RapidMiner, you are having Orange, you are having Vika. Even you do not have to take so much pain of doing any coding or stuff like that. So anyone XYZ can have a piece of data and can put it directly into that kind of a GUI-based system and can have this kind of output. Now, what I would like to understand that, what is your contribution in this, in making it, in making out the novelty of these propositions which you are trying to make?
Okay, sir. The a priori is low when FP growth is fast. Application of FP growth to real pharmacy data and the optimized pharmacy efficiency in a hospital, sir.
No, so then what you have done in it, I mean, the algorithm is doing its own work. The data is there provided to you by the pharmacy. So what you have done in it, that
sir, what I have done here is, see, sir, now we have to pass the data according to their format. I have passed the data. In a bill, it may be some other
format. Whose format you are trying to refer? Whose format?
For FP growth format in association rules, they have maintained.
So obviously, if you are providing an input even to a neural network, that also you have to create the format of the neural network. Then that is not a contribution. No, that is just to settle the data conversion, you can say, rather. I mean, I'm putting it in that particular linear format so that it can be well fit in that particular algorithm. So that's how it is. Now, but then if you are doing really some kind of optimization is in data, that is something different rather than creating it into the format of a given algorithm, which is off the shelf.
I think they have just made use of this algorithms for implementing it with the pharmacy data. Just they have made use of it, and they have developed a tool-like structure. They have developed, and they are giving it as a product for the pharmacy. That's the contribution they have made.
That's the contribution. But then of course the software that you have created, let's say, for the real-time functioning, that is of course praiseworthy. Yes, and a lot of hard work is involved in it. I do understand that. Yes. But then henceforth you please try to if you want to think it in the line of research, in line of contribution, you need to really put some novelty in it, in which your contribution gets reflected, rather than just taking and using some off the shelf, because there can be many other algorithms as well which can work better in a different, because this one you are saying, as you said, a priori is not scalable, then probably your FP growth or any such algorithm for that matter will not work in a generic way on all kinds of data. So there, anywhere you would like to do this. So what is your contribution in making the scenario optimized so that it can work well in a real-time solution with a lesser turnaround time? So that is what probably will be your contribution while you are going to project it as a research work or something in a competition, rather than directly putting some methods, taking off the shelf and using it, right?
Sir, actually what you are saying is correct. What my contribution I did here is right, sir. According to that, I passed the parameter, and then I reduce the redundant from those data sets. Even though in FP growth as well, there will be a lot of redundant data sets there, sir. After implementing those association.
What is a redundant data set? I am not understanding.
A redundant data set is nothing but see, if A, B, and C is a combination, correct, sir? And see, the CBA is another combination. This is a combination. The A and B, their confidence level also 1.0, and CBA, the confidence level also 1.0. We say if A and B will come, along with that C will come. These the confidence level that B and C comes, along with that A and B come. We say the A and B already come there, and their confidence level will be 100%.
So there are different combinations you are talking about. You are talking about some redundant data set.
I said redundant data is nothing. Said actually A and B is a confidence level. A and B are three items.
A and B is a combination, and confidence level is something else,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Lift is something else. And have you calculated any lift out of it? I mean, what is the lift amount?
Sir, I didn't use any lift amount here, sir. I just use only a confidence level and a support level.
Yeah,
only
obviously, for doing that, I mean, don't you find it important to get into lift? If not, then what is the reason?
Once again, sir, I can't able to understand what
I said that you have said that you have used confidence level. Of course, the output will come with the confidence level, giving you the percentage that with what confidence you are predicting such a kind of combination,
yes,
isn't
sir.
it? Now,
Yes, sir.
now the issue is that what are the other parameters you have taken into consideration while you have calculated the confidence level in case
Yes,
of,
sir.
let's say, FP growth?
Yes, sir. I maintain there on a support level, sir.
Support level. Now,
Yeah, support level.
confidence, lift. These are the three important parameters which you treat in a
Sir, actually,
association group.
I use two lift for a frequent pattern growth algorithm, sir. Before that, I removed those outliers from using the database.
So, what was the method by which you remove the outliers?
Yes, sir. For one method for removing outlier, consider if there are 1,000 records, and if the two items A and B will the item that can be occur only while in a once or two times enabled, these may be considered as an outlier. If those items that can be exceeded 15 times enabled, this can be taken
How
as
do
a
you
valid
come
data.
to this conclusion? I mean, have you set any predefined threshold, or you are taking it on a trial and error basis, or just by observing the data set? Have you done any that is said EDA, that is data analysis?
Yes, sir, we have analyzed.
Have you done any EDA?
Yeah. We analyzed those with our pharmacy data, sir. We first analyze our pharmacy data, and then we move into those algorithms, sir.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Pa, you just look into the suggestions given by sir that the measures that has been used like lift, you just find out why lift cannot be used for your particular problem. And also from the next level point of view, suppose you would like to claim that you have developed the algorithm, you have not just used the off-the-shelf algorithm, just to pick and play with that algorithm. Instead of that, you can just make some changes in the algorithm, like you can change the data structure that is employed in FP growth, which can be something different than the traditional FP growth algorithm. So if that, at that level you can work with, then you can call it as your contribution. And one more suggestion is that you have told that some of them are considered as outliers because from your deliberations, I have found that when you say that one item is occurring only one time, it cannot be the original item that I am interested in. So I make it as an outlier. But there are certain medicines that may not move frequently, but their profit that they are going to give might be high. So please don't call it as outliers, or you just use some different terminologies so that outlier meaning is not being going to be used here in that aspect. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you, Surya, for presenting, and thank you, ma'am, for giving review. Thank you all the judges for reviewing the work.
Okay, thank you, one and all, for this opportunity to expose our ideas. Thank you. Thanks a lot.